Yo, I got a bone to pick with fucking the alarms and shit. Oh shit, it's not even facing me. I got a bone to pick with the iPhone alarms and shit. Cause like, bro, them shits don't be going off some days, bro. I'm over here rushing to work right now. Cause of fucking, well, I don't know if my alarm went off or not. Cause I will say this, yesterday, I put on 2 different alarms. No, not even. I put on a later alarm. I went to bed later yesterday. Not yesterday, but 2 days before. So like yesterday morning, I woke up like late. But I turned that bitch off myself. But to be honest, today, I had my regular one set like for 5:30. And then that shit wouldn't, like, I swear it didn't go off. I woke up at 6:20. I was like, oh, fuck. But it's all good, though. Shit. But one of the physical common denominators, I was in that pendulum a little more than usual. So maybe I'll cut that out a little bit for some time. But anyways, as of right now, I ain't even tripping about like waking up late because I had this dream. I'm not really gonna tell y'all what it was, but like right now, we're getting hit with like past shit, old shit, so to say, things that we had done before, and then like atoning for that shit. So it's like, it's like a right now is either I had a thought that made me want to record this, and this is the one. So I'm just remembering that space. So the reason for the stuff coming back up, right? It's a time of relegislation or eradication. And new legislation, right? So it's like, okay, these are the things that you had previously upheld. These are the bullet points of like criteria that you met through your character, through your ways of being, right? And it's like, right now is the option to go and do that thing again, just based upon like the accruement of energy you have been having built up in that space, along with the South Node energies going on right now in Libra, the Eclipse energies going on right now in Libra. So it's just like a checkpoint of like, hey, do you want to keep building in this way? Do you want to keep really, even though it's like relationships and shit like that, because we're dealing with Libra, so we're talking about like the certain criteria that you get out of relations, that both people get out of the relations, is like at play, meaning like it's not necessarily like the reason of connection, but it's more so I would attribute that more so to like Aries natures. And like, you know, when you say reason, automatically is like, that's the key word for like Sag and shit like that, which is like, you know, true, I guess, but or it is true, but because whenever like there's a reason to connect, there's a will there, there's like a common ground, there's a one there, like, okay, we're both meeting for this, right? So the Libra energy comes into play when it's like, okay, now what do we do once we're here, right? Once we've decided that we want to be together, once we've decided that, and this applies to yourself on an internal level as well. Once you decide you want to entertain said thought, once you decide you want to entertain said feeling, it's like, okay, what do the constituents of this space require for me to uphold this, right? Same thing goes for relationships with people and shit like that. And Yeah, so this is like that re-legislation, or getting rid of a bill, getting rid of or enacting something new, a new form of legislation for you to uphold, a new form of criteria for you to meet, right? And that, just off the basis of that, it's like automatically puts you in the space of, is this thing really upholding what I truly want to be doing on a first impulse basis? Whenever I wake up in the morning, is this the first thing that's on my mind, right? And if that shit's fucked up, I mean, that shit's fucked up. Like, you can make it better throughout the day, like, but just know that's where you was coming from. That's like your internal space of like, that's like the first thing you go to type of shit, right? Shout out Mooney Mercury Baby. He was talking about that like some live streams ago. But this is like by default a time for like recalibration of how you honor yourself through your relationships, right? And if your codes of conduct really adhere to that, or if your codes of conduct your codes of conduct cause yourself to ditch the driver's seat, as Zay Quarter would say, of like your vehicle, of your being, right? AKA you choosing something to relate to based upon what is already there, in negligence to whatever your impulse nature is to do, right? And not saying you gotta like follow all your impulses and shit like that, but I mean, like, hey, living life like an Aries makes life easier in the sense of like on a mental level of just like like letting shit out and shit like that. Because once you start getting like into the later signs, you got like you start trying to account for more shit, which can be beneficial at times, but also like it could potentially slow down processes of your fire, water, air, and earth, because you feel like you have to account for more shit in those set arenas, or in a specific element in that process. So where I got this drink, Shasha, just drive, AJ, just drive. What was that thought about? It's because I didn't know what I was gonna say next, so I just like, let me take a drink of water, or this fucking like green mixture drink I got. Cause low key I felt scared about and when I say scared, I wasn't like a type of scared, but it's more like a subtle thing, right? Cause that's how sometimes emotions be like, they just be lingering and shit. But anyways, like it was like a slight fear about like having like a blank spot in the video of me not talking, and how that would be perceived as like, oh dang, he don't got nothing to talk about, which like that low-key goes in into the themes of what I'm dealing with in my personal life, or how the Libra energy is showing up, how this Libra South Node energy is showing up in my personal life. Because I got Libra in the second house, right? What do I bring to the world? What do I value that exudes out of me that other people could see as a value and be like, oh, okay, he's like doing something, aka something that builds up confidence in me to even step into a space where I'm speaking on things like this, or just like having my craft and being able to like my writing and shit, my art and shit like that, having that be able to be a piece of like energy that builds me up and able to experience the world and be like, hey y'all, look at this type of thing, look what I could do, look what my wheels have made for me, right? Because you necessarily aren't those things, it's just like something you're doing, right? You're just like, oh, that seems cool type of thing, aka why you came to this world in the first place, now you could say like you got into like it's traumas and shit that brought you into the world because it was like the most dense. But hey, everything is layered. I like to say there's like it's rare. Okay, now we're getting into demon talk. We're because we're already here in this world, right? There's already like many criteria that had to happen in order for you to be in a body, right? So in this realm, it's highly likely that there is a low percentage of levels where there is only one will for something to happen, and it happens, right? You go get a job. Yes, it can pay your bills, but it can also get you some things that you like to do on your free time, right? It can also make you be able to have a car, drive somewhere, go and fucking travel some shit. It could also be funding some type of hobby you have, some type of craft that you pour into. It could also like there's many of reasons why you would do something, right? That's what I'm trying to get at. So yes, you could say that you came into this world through like trauma and shit like that, right? Because that's like when you talk about shit like that, that's like sludge, right? It'll be hard to get off of you type of shit, just based upon the amount of dirtiness that is there. Not saying like, oh, that shit's like, oh, it's fucking, oh, I'm stained forever, type of shit. It's like fucking I don't even know if it's just a recording. Okay, yeah. It's like fucking it's only like that due to the amount of like energy poured into it. So it's like a big ass orb of awareness that you would carry, right? My bad if you ain't necessarily in that space and I just feel that you spell at you, but if you ain't in that space, you would be strong enough to even know not to be undertaken into that space that I just threw out there. Because really, yeah, anyways, that's a different topic. But well, I'm gonna finish that thought. Fuck it. Because if I threw that like you spell at you, or like talking about the traumas and shit like that, if you had like gone through shit to get over it, to get out of that shit, then it's like when somebody else would bring something up about that shit, maybe you might get like start questioning yourself for like a minute, couple minutes, couple seconds, and fucking like be like, nah, what the fuck, I already slayed this demon, bro, what the fuck, I'm tripping right now. And then boom, go about your day type of shit. Meaning that you could extract from that situation like a new angle or a new like or a reconfirmation of like where you want to be, just based upon the work you had previously done in creating a new orb of awareness outside of that trauma signature, outside of that misconception signature, right? So yeah, I don't know why I wanted to finish that thought, but yeah, the world and shit, you coming into the world and shit, like shit is layered. Like, yeah, you came in through based upon like some type of connection to your family and shit like that, right? Meaning some like trauma shit or like just what you like to naturally do, right? But mainly I went down that rabbit hole because like in my mind I was thinking about like how people in like the spiritual space, and me included at times, I've done this as well, like will only think of like the negative in terms of why they had been manifested into this said reality through the said family that they came through, right? Be like, oh, because we carry these traits, I see this similar thing in me that I see in them, type of thing, that isn't necessarily beneficial to evolution and expansion of the individual and humanity, right? So like I went down that train of thought for the reason of saying like shit be layered, bruh. Like there's got to be some good qualities that you got from your parents as well. There's got to be some good qualities you got some from your friendship as well, right? Even if it wasn't necessarily the person that gave it to you, but the relation that gave it to you, because the relationship and the person that you're relating to are two separate things. At least that's how I've been looking at it as. And if you got a different angle, hey, let me know in the comments. But yeah, so the relationship and the person is like two separate things, because the relationship is like a bubble that the two people that are relating, or the groups of people that are relating, create. So whatever they pour into that bubble by means of expression, and also whatever they carry on the inside just as like a subconscious thing, imbues itself into said expression because it influences it. So also the subconscious natures and patterns of people are placed into that said relation, right? Now, in that bubble that has been created as a relation, right, the friction points of y'all's sphere spinning together, right, that bubble of awareness, that space that's happening, right, my stomach trying to tell me I'm hungry right now. Motherfucker, I'm recording a video. But, damn. Yeah, in that bubble of relation, right, that you had, the both of y'all, or the groups of people had created, you could set up guidelines, rules in that space, aka the Libra space, right? What types of legislation are we gonna have here? What type of criteria do we uphold in this space? What types of things do we not allow in this space? That could be different than a person that is relating those things. Meaning, like, let's say you hold yourself accountable and are a respectable person to yourself, right? So there's certain things you will and will not do. But then you come around a person that isn't like that. And then they might try to do some things, but then you may have some slick comebacks, some type of pressure that you would put onto them just by you being you and not allowing something to happen, right? And a lot of times too, that should have happened just based upon like an aura that you carry. Like, oh, I better not try this with this person because he looks like he might like do something or whatever, right? So like that subconscious, like imbuing into like the relationship part, that could be constructed in a manner for the relationship to be different by like the person who is more on their shit, right? And when I say on their shit, it doesn't even necessarily mean like in a physical sense, as in them having money, a place to stay, a good car, you know, having like other material things well oiled down, lubricated, and functioning smooth and shit. I'm also speaking on the internal sense, right? This is a spiritual channel, right? We're talking about metaphysical principles and like why the reality is the way the reality is, right? And the reality is the way it is because based upon like the thought trains and shit that you would be into, i.e. creating your overlay, creating the shit that you see in the world. Shit, motherfucker. I just started thinking about ohms and ums right there. And low-key, I thought about how other people would perceive me in saying that. And if how that would be, like, received well or not. See, because I was going back to my Libra second house shit of, like, valuing my own shit. And, like, being able to just be in that shit as opposed to going out looking for the structure and be like, okay, is this okay to do? And if you're a Virgo rising, not to say you're going through this right now, because you may have slayed this demon before I slayed it, right? Of like having to go and check some shit. But yeah, having to go check some shit before I go do something or admit something, right? And then boom, what I have to do, break check, Damn, bro. And I didn't even necessarily have to be in this lane, bro. I could have moved, but I was just too busy talking and shit. But anyways, yeah, that was just like a checkpoint type shit. Like, I'm not gonna, yeah, next thought. Fucking, damn, I ain't gonna let that shit throw me off, though. I'm not. But, yeah, so relationships and shit, the Libra natures, the constituents of that space that you create as a relationship is fucking, like, different than the thing that you're relating to. Oh yeah, then I went into those ohs, ums, and ums type of shit. Cause I was gonna say, instead of saying after my after I'm trying to like think of the next thought, so to say. But really I'm not even thinking of the next thought. I'm just like waiting for like it to come. Like I'm not like scavenging for that shit. Which is like, I guess that's just how my mind works as of right now. Fucking maybe one day I'll be squared away in terms of type of shit. But I got hella retrogrades in my chart. And I don't want to blame that, but like, just my chakras is wired differently and shit like that. So that just means I gotta be really on my shit in order to be like that. AKA letting thoughts out and shit. And just like being able to catch flights in a more jet plane manner as opposed to some fucking like first airplane that was made. You know what I mean? The technology, the craft, the movement of it, the character of it, right? But anyways, yeah, this is just a little check-in of like the Libra energies going on right now, South Node energies, because I had a dream where it was like, it seems kind of potent, so I was gonna let that space kind of guide this space and fucking, you know, see what chooses to come out. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, end it right here. This has been AJ Evolution without the end, because the evolution don't end. And I hope this camera angle wasn't like too weird. I had to flip my phone around because I started recording on the back camera. But anyways, yeah, I'm about to go get this money for my well-being and pouring into more sustenance in my life. So I hope you're able to do the same. And I know you're able to do the same. Alright. Peace. In whichever way that seems to be. It might not be physical. You might gotta go find a new well to create. A new well to find water to drink at, internally speaking, right? A new well to lubricate your ideas of what a relationship would be, right? What do you want to feel? What do you want to see in your reality? Let that guide what the relationship should be. Alright, I'm out this bitch. Peace.